Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Attila tournament match cast. This is the North American Flash Tournament number 7. I'm just gonna call it NAFT short. And it is the final between Poccopacs of FG and Javi Ramos of VOD. I don't know if I should call him Javi Ramos or Javi Ramos. I guess Javi Ramos perhaps is the best way. And in this first game we have Hunts for Poccopacs and Jutes for Javi Ramos. And of course Poccopacs is in FG clan and Javi Ramos is of the VOD clan. And actually this is the one thing about this tournament is that even though it's a North American Flash tournament, it is not a Flash tournament, by the way. Because this is best of 3 until from like the beginning until the end, so it was played from April the 3rd until now, I suppose. So it was not a Flash, even though it's technically one. But anyway, for the rules, we have obviously large funds, normal stuff, and the player on top of the bracket chooses the faction first and the map. As for the map pool, we have woodlands, plains, and swamp. Other maps allowed if both players agree, and both players are attackers, very important rule. And you can only use a faction once per round and 3 times during the entire tournament, something that is very important. And also, mirror matchups are allowed. DLC factions allowed if both players have the DLC. And it's max 6 of the same unit, max 6 scav, general doesn't count. Max 4 horse archers doesn't count towards cav, total cav cap I mean, but horse archer gen does count towards horse archer cap, I think. Then you have max 2 royal lancers, max 5 pikes, no art, no boxing, no red line camping. So that was those are some interesting rules. Some of them are very standard, of course. Actually, overall, it's just pretty standard rules, just a few changes, basically. Anyway, time to go over the builds. So as I was saying, in the first game, Poccopacs is the Hunts and Javi Ramos is the Jutes. Let's go over the Hunts. First, we have, let's see, looks like a Step Chieftain Bronze 1 with fast charge. Then we have, wow, lots of interesting stuff going on over here. 2 skirmish cav for the Hunts. Looks like the Hunnic mounted bows, so it's the ones with 40 missile damage, not a bad choice. Melee damage, not a bad choice at all. They can do a lot in melee with that damage. Then we also see a single Hunnic Lancer on each flank. Well, it is bronze 1 on the left and bronze 1 on the right. Then in the center we have 4 Hunnic Lancers, bronze 1. In terms of the skirmish contingent, 3 step bows up front with, looks like 2 step bows right behind, and all the way in the back, let's see, we have a lot of wars. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 wars, 2 are bronze 1, and then a chosen war on each flank, also bronze 1. As for the rest of the composition, well, that's basically the Hunnic build. Interesting choice to bring all these Hunnic Lancers, not even elite Hunnic Lancers. Very, very interesting, actually. Anyway, for the Jutes here, commanded by Javi Ramos, we have Nordic Radiator Silver 2 with the Warcry ability, actually. I believe we had Brace for Step Chieftain. No, we had Fast Charge. I forgot, yeah. I already said it. Then for his contingent we have, looks like a bunch of Nordic Horse Lords. I believe 6 in total, is it? Yeah, 6 in total. Looks like they're all bronze 3 as well. Then we have what appears to be a pure rush build. 1, 2, 3, 4 Nordic band up front with 1, 2, 3 of these Warhounds. As for the Axe contingent, well, lots of Huskarls. Just only Huskarls, I believe. Is it 6 Huskarls bronze 2? Looks like that is the case. Yeah, 6 Huskarls bronze 2. And that would be the build of the Jutes. So I guess I kind of favored Jutes here with the builds here, but the thing is he doesn't have skirmishers, so I don't favor them 100%, and the fact is that Huns have extra cav. The skirmish cav can just deal very well with the Huskarls if they get proper cav charges off. Looks like lots of nice skirmishing by the Huns here with the Hunnic mounted bows. Taking some damage though from the Nordic band, so that is to be kept in mind. However, the Huskarls, this unit has lost 10 men already. Very nice skirmishing by the Hunnic mounted bows. Here doing damage to horse lords as well. Have to be careful though, because there are warhounds here, and the Hunnic mounted bows might die, but they're running away as fast as they can right now, as you can see from the warhounds. And we're gonna have the Hunnic lancers engaging these warhounds. Warhounds getting recalled, but they're just going to end up dying to these lancers soon enough. Here you see that the horse lords here are getting targeted, but Hunnic mounted bows taking damage from all these from the horse lord javelins. Here come the warhounds getting into the mounted bows, so that's not great for the Huns actually. But here, as you can see, the warhounds lost some men, and these Nordic band are actually getting wasted. But no, they actually did a lot of damage to this Hunnic lancer, as you can see. The Hunnic lancer here, also lots of friendly fire onto it as well. So I guess that's not too bad for the Jutes, but the thing is, by the time they get into the Huns, they would have ran all the way across the battlefield to get them. And as you can see, they're already quite tired, quite fatigued. And that's not going to play well for, that's not going to be great for the Jutes. But here come the charges. Nordic Horse Lords will do quite well against the Hunnic Lancers, especially depleted ones. But as long as the Jute Huskarls don't get charged, which looks like there's going to be the case here, and the Horse Lords need to countercharge, ooh, they're going to get rear charge and they're going to take a lot of damage. Here we see a Hunnic Lancer also going straight for the rear of this Huskarl. That's not good for the Jutes at all. This engagement though pretty good for the Jutes actually, with these Huskarls here. But there's a lot of these ores coming in to support, and these Huskarls need to get a proper charge off. Looks like they're going to get one. I don't know what this Horse Lord is doing here, doing very awkward things. It's actually getting targeted, it seems. Nordic band coming in here to support, but very nice scav charge into the Huskarls, destroy them. This unit is going to be next of the Jutes. And now, as you can see here, this Hunnic Lancer making it into the Huskarls, also more damage. We have this Hunnic mounted bow coming in as well, and as you can see, it's not looking good at all for the Jutes because they're losing a lot of their Huskarls to cav charges. But they still have the Huskarls in the center, something to keep in mind, and their general is alive. But lots of mass routing going on for the Jutes right now. As this was very important here because the Steppe Chieftain... I mean, so many axes already died for the Jutes, it is insane. These Hunnic Lancers look like they're not going to get a good charge off, but... oh, they might still actually connect with the Huskarls though. So that's pretty good for the Huns. That's a pretty decent cav charge still. But now the Huns have a lot of infantry units over the Jutes, and this Hunnic Lancer should hold long enough for this chosen war to make it into the fight. As you can see, this Horse Lord going to kill off the Hunnic mounted bow. That's good for the Jutes, but the thing is that right now the Jutes don't have a lot of Huskarls left. They all died due to cav charges and infantry support. So the cav charges into the Huskarls, really well done here by the Huns actually. And as you can see here, the engagement's still happening. These units are all going to die for... yeah, all these Jute units going to die here. And nice flaming shot here onto the Horse Lords, going to make sure that they're shattered. Another cav charge here. This is going to rout the Nordic band, especially with chosen ores coming in. Some Nordic Horse Lords still left on the field. This unit is in pretty good shape, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to change the tide of battle, because as you can see, this flank has totally routed for the Jutes. The Jutes have lost their right flank as well. They only have units in the center which are just going to die, and this Nordic Horse Lord is their last good unit. And as you can see, the Nordic Raid Leader is pretty much dying and is now routing. Here comes the Horse Lord, going to just... might actually rout this warrior potentially, but probably not even that. As you can see, it's just wavering right now as it's taking a lot of damage from flaming shot, a lot of shock to it being done, and the fact that the whole army is routing is not good for the morale of the unit, obviously. Why would they fight if the battle is already lost? And that is going to be game. Let's just fast forward to get this over with, get into the statistics, because yeah, I think the cavalry did well for the Huns, also the infantry, because they supported at the opportune time. So let's see. Yeah, these These mounted bows did very well for the Huns, actually. Very impressed by them. And the Ors and Chosen Ors traded very well because the Huskarls were weakened and in some cases even destroyed by the Hunnic Lancers. That was very well done with Hunnic Lancers. Don't normally see Hunnic Lancers, which was interesting to see them brought to the field right now, and the fact that it actually worked. But yeah, that is game 1, so I shall see you in game number 2. This is game 2 of the match. We have Eastern Romans for Poccopacs and the Burgundians for Javi Ramos. Obviously, Burgundians are favored in this matchup, for sure. But it is just going to be a question of using the Eastern Roman tools better here, because the Hetereas, they're very strong units indeed. So let's look at the builds of both players. So for Poccopacs, who is the Eastern Romans, we have the Comus General with fast charge. Then we see, let's see, what do we actually see? We have these Clibonari up front, 4 of them bronze 1. They're nice and heavy units. Then behind them we have 2 Cataphractari bronze 1. Up front we see a lot of Funditores, 3, 4, 5 Funditores. Quite a decent skirmishing force, indeed. Then in the back we have 3, 4, 5 Heterea guards, 4 of which are bronze 1. So that's a massive infantry contingent for the East Romans, actually. Very, very strong indeed. Even though it's not, doesn't have a lot of men in it. Anyway, let's go over the Burgundian army here. So let's see. For Javi Ramos, he has Royal Burgundian General, bronze 2 with War Cry ability, as you can see here. Then he has a mix of Royal and Barbed Lancers, I imagine. Indeed, he does 1 Royal Lancer on each flank, and then he has 1, 2, 3, 4 Barbed Lancers, bronze 1. Up front, we see a mix of Hurlers and Germanic Archers, 3 Scattershot Hurlers in the center, 1 Germanic Archer on each flank. He does have 2 pikes, interestingly enough, 2 of these Germanic pikes on the field. And he has, let's see, a lot of Burgundian Axemen. Well, 6 Burgundian Axemen. Looks like they're all silver ones, so very interesting choice to upgrade these Burgundian Axemen, indeed. We'll see if that's going to pay off for the Burgundians or not. But definitely Burgundians have a slight skirmish edge here against the Funditores. I mean, it's the same number of skirmishers, true, but scattershots and Germanic archers are superior to the Funditores. So we will see how this is going to play out. Of course, archers have superior range as well, so that is to be kept in mind. Let's just fast forward right now. And but yeah, I do give a pretty good edge to the Burgundians here. We'll see. The thing is, though, that if the Eastern Romans engage properly, they're not going to do bad at all here. Actually, they're gonna do okay. So here come the scatter shot, the Funditores with precision shot. They're getting into the archers, and they're gonna do pretty decently here against the Germanic archers, because Germanic archers are using flaming shot, which is not as fast as standard shot, and yeah, the Germanic archers not using their range advantage over the Funditores here, and this is not a good trade for the Burgundians at all. Even if they kill this Funditores unit, they're not going to have more ammo left. And here comes the skirmish engagement in the center. As you can see, East Roman Funditores against the Burgundian scattershots. So here, precision shot on both units, and I believe these units should kind of cancel each other out. These Funditores here targeting the Germanic archers as well. And as you can see, Germanic archers do not like being fired upon by the Funditores, especially with precision shot. And as you can see here, still precision shot activated on Funditores, doing a lot of damage to the scatter shot, but also taking a lot of damage in return. I mean, scatter shot are better than Funditores, so you will see the scatter shot winning here, but they're not going to have much ammo, if any, left after the skirmish engagement. So let's just fast forward a little bit until both players use a lot of their ammo. As you can see, these hurlers dying. Here comes a potential cav engagement here. The Royal Lancers. Ooh, this is a really bad move here by the Burgundians. Rear charge into the Royal Lancers and into the Burgundian Axemen. This is really bad for the Burgundians here. That's a massive charge. That's already paid for itself, this Klibanari, because the Royal Lancer lost 12 men on the charge. The Burgundian Axeman also lost a lot of men. Now I don't like this pullout though. That's not the best move, but yeah. I should have kept that Klibanari in melee. This hurler is still pushing up against the Royal Lancer. It's going to slow it down, and I think with this, the Eastern Romans can push the left flank. This is going to be a pretty decent cav charge by this Cataphractari into an already weakened Royal Lancer unit. Here we see Klibanari pushing forward into this Barbed Lancer. And they should do not bad against the Barbed Lancer as well. Again, I don't know why the Burgundians pulling back these units. Ooh, this could have been really bad, and I think they're still gonna make it into the Burgundian Axemen, so this is not great for the Burgundians actually. The engagements that they're taking, there's gonna be another engagement here which is actually gonna go the way of the Eastern Romans most likely if this Burgundian Axeman does get charged. But this Haterea could actually get charged, so both players actually being very widespread, so they cannot support their infantry properly. Here, this engagement going to be won by the Eastern Romans. This engagement going to be won by the Eastern Romans. This engagement going to be won by the Eastern Romans as well. More cavalry coming in for Eastern Romans. Basically, Eastern Romans have a superiority here in terms of numbers, and a superiority in terms of like how the engagement started. They got really nice cav charges off onto the axis. But here, the thing is, this Barbed Lancer crushed this Haterea, so that was good. Very good for the Burgundians. This charge is also going to do a lot of damage and is going to hurt these East Roman Haterea guards as well. And this Cataphractari is going to die as well. It's just up to... Oh, yeah, the left flank of East Rome is doing extremely well here. As you can see, more Hatereas coming into the fray. We have the Royal Burgundian General disengaging against Klibanari, so he's going to take a lot of damage as he disengages. He's obviously not going to die, but the damage he's taken is pretty real. However, as you can see, Burgundians going to win this flank. I don't know what this Barbed Lancer is doing. Should honestly just be going for the Hatereas, but it looks like it's pulling back, and I don't think that's the right move, potentially. No, never mind. Actually, it could be, because now these units can still anyway mop up these axes, so that's pretty good. We have a rear charge here by the Royal Burgundian General into the Cataphractari, which I honestly don't know if it's the right move, because this Burgundian Axeman already got charged by the Cataphractari. He needs to charge these Hatereas, but I guess he wanted to charge this unit because he was afraid of Klibanari. And he's gonna now support with Scattershot Hurlers to defend the General. And now Royal Burgundian General going out of the fight. He's gonna get charged by Klibanari and he's gonna take damage, even though it's just a couple of Klibanari left on the field. The Royal Burgundian General is not gonna like that. And now we probably will see the Comets General engaging the Royal Burgundian one soon enough. As you can see here, this whole flank has routed for the Eastern Romans. Very nice job here by Eastern Romans indeed. This Cataphractari has been so useful. I don't know why it's kind of like pulling back and doing weird things though. And here comes the Comets General. He's going to kill off the Royal Burgundian one. Ooh, the Burgundian General not gonna like this charge at all. As you can see here, the Burgundians did kind of mop up this flank of the Romans, but not really. I didn't actually see what happened here, but as you can see, these axes and this Cataphractari routed off the field here. Not looking good on that flank for the Burgundians either. Suddenly, oh, the Eastern Romans did miss a cav charge here with the Klibanari, but it's just 28 Royal Lancers. And now the General is dead for the Burgundians. And that is massive, because the Comets now is going to engage this Barbed Lancer. Barbed Lancer going to do some nice initial damage to this Comets, but at this point there's just a lot of Eastern Roman units left on the field, and just a couple of Burgundian Axemen left and some Barbed Lancers. With this Royal Lancer that's just going to hold out for some time here, but I mean, what can the Burgundians realistically do right now? They're just outmatched in every single way. They're outnumbered at this point, so it is going to be game anytime now. Indeed. As you can see, these Romans are just very happy with the way that this battle went. And why shouldn't they? They defeated the enemy. Pretty convincingly too. And they somehow won on both flanks, even though the right flank looked pretty bad for the Easterners. But yeah. I guess I didn't really see what happened there. Would have been interesting, but I guess the cavalry didn't get charges off properly. whatever. But regardless, let's look at statistics. Haterea is doing very well, as you would expect, except one of them that got charged. Fuenitores, well, kind of traded with the scatter shots. And the Clibanari, well, definitely paying for themselves, and especially the Carafructari, lots of kills on them, very well used, actually. As for Javi Ramos, not a lot of his units doing well. As you can see, none of his Burgundian Axemen being effective as they got charged. Basically, Barb Lancers and Row Lancers, not a lot of damage done by them. This Row Lancer specifically, well, one of them did a lot of damage, but still, his spikes didn't really do anything. But that is game and match, so Poccopacs does end up winning NAFT number 7 with a 2-0 in the final. So congratulations to Poccopacs. Hope you all enjoyed, and if you want to see more, don't forget to comment or subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video. I shall see you next time.